What's up guys, Mr. Golden Thumbz here, and today we're going to be over what I think is the best strategy to recruiting gems in NCAA Football 14. But before we get started, if this is your first time on the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button and make sure you click the little bell to get all the notifications for future videos on this channel. But let's get into it guys. The best strategy to recruiting gems and athletes in NCAA Football 14. Now, in my opinion, when you're playing NCAA Football 14 and you're going to recruit, the best thing to do is definitely to go after those gems and those athletes, because you can put an athlete at any position, and in my opinion, it's a lot easier to do it that way than to go after specific positions. So let's run through it. This video might be a little long guys, but I'm going to go into detail on how I recruit and my mindset so that you guys can make better decisions when recruiting in NCAA Football 14. So first of all, we're going to look at the head coach tree, and all you want to do is spend all of your points in the recruiting tree for the head coach. Now this right here is, you can only start at level 20 when you start a Dynasty. So I've got the level 20 coach. I only had 15 points extra to spend, but I'm going to go in detail over the skill tree and why I picked every single one. So I did not put anything into locksmith. It already had 2 out of 3 unlocked, and in my opinion, locksmith is not that important when you're recruiting gems and athletes. Honestly, if a player locked you out, he locked you out, it's over, whatever, who cares? If you're going after gems, usually that won't be an issue because less teams are bidding on them usually, and you probably won't get locked out. If you're going after athletes, that might happen, but shit happens, deal with it. Move on and spend your points on someone else if they locked you out. That's my opinion, and that's the way I do it. Now you want to go 3 out of 3 for scouting, because that'll just scout the person right off the bat with just 50 points. So you can scout people really fast and get all their attributes right away. So that's really effective. Secondly, you want to max out the opener and the closer skills in the skill tree, because these will give you extra recruitment points throughout the season. So from week 1 to 7 at max level, you get an extra 1,500. And for the closer, from weeks 8 to 15, you get an extra 1,500. That's an extra 3,000 recruitment points that you get to use throughout the season, and that is huge. Huge. The next skill you want to max out is going to be kitchen sink. 3 out of 3 skills spent in that. And the reason being, guys, that each recruit can have an extra 200 points assigned to them each week. If your draft board is full of gems and athletes that you've scouted, that is 35 players maximum. And you get 200 extra recruitment points per week for every player. That is an extra 7,000 recruitment points per week. It is so useful when you're trying to recruit the best players available on the draft board. Next, you want to max out letter of intent, and that gives you an extra 5,000 recruitment points at the off season, and you get a 20% chance that you can steal a prospect from their top school. This is why I said it doesn't really matter if a player locks you out, because once you get to the end of the off season, you've got 5,000 extra recruitment points. And if you've got a couple players in a battle with other schools that are really close, you can go ahead and just spend huge amounts of points to secure those players, and you have even more chances now with the 20% increase in stealing that prospect from their top school. So if you're in a recruitment battle with one other school, that is huge and very helpful to sign those players. The last one you're going to want to max out is instant commit. After you've leveled up all of these skills in the skills tree, you're going to go for instant commit, and it gives you a 5% chance of an instant commitment when you offer a scholarship, and that goes up per rank. So you'd get 10% at level 3 increase in chances of getting an instant commit from a scholarship. That is huge as well, because you get 25 scholarships that you can offer throughout the season. If you offer 25 scholarships, you have a big chance that at least a couple of those guys will instant commit to your school. That can save you a lot of time and skill points when trying to recruit the best players possible, because you do have a limited amount of recruitment points every week, and you want to prioritize the higher level players. So definitely very helpful in saving those recruitment points for the most important players. Now that we went over the coach skills tree, let's take a look at how I set up my recruitment board. I want to show you guys what I do to set up my recruitment board at the start of the season. That way you can maximize your recruitment strategy and get the best players possible. So we're looking for gems and athletes here. So what I do is I search. So I don't even care about the rest, honestly. I don't go to the Spark 100. I don't go to the Pipeline States. I don't go to all that stuff. I don't care. I go to search. I go by position. And I'll look up by athlete. And you want gems and athletes. So you only have to target athletes. It's really that simple. So we're going to target athletes. Tendency doesn't matter. State doesn't matter. Caliber doesn't matter. Height, weight doesn't matter. The rest doesn't matter. If you want to make it easier on yourself when recruiting and you want to set up your recruitment board with players that have a higher likelihood of committing to your team, you want to adjust the percent lock. So what I usually do is change it to less than 25%. That way it will filter out the players at the beginning of the season that are already like halfway locked to a certain school. This makes it a lot easier for you to target specific players, and we don't care about interest in Kent State, and we don't care about deal breaker. So let's search and see how many results come up here. So 99 matches for athletes under 25% locked. That is a lot. I mean, we can fill up our recruitment board twice. All right, guys, so here is what the recruitment board looks like. Of course, all the 5-star caliber athletes show up first, but we are specifically targeting gems and athletes. So the way I set it up is I sort by lock percentage and go lowest lock percentage first. Once your search results are sorted by lowest lock percentage first, you want to start going through and targeting players that you would want on your team. In my opinion, and the way I draft, I would never target someone under 6 foot because I just don't like having short players. But that's just me, right? So I don't target any athlete under 6 foot. So let's go through the draft board real quick and I'll show you guys. A quick tip for you guys when you're setting up your targets. When you filter the search results and you see the players with the green circle next to their name, that means they have an interest in you. Look at this. I'm already in their top 2 teams, a 3-star caliber athlete, 6'2", 202. You definitely want to target those guys because you have a better chance of locking them in and being able to recruit them. So definitely keep that in mind when you're going through the search results and setting up your recruitment board. All right, guys, so once you've set up your recruitment board and you've got all 35 of your athletes targeted and set up, you want to go through during the preseason and scout every single player, or at least as many as you can if you don't have enough points to scout all of them. But the first weeks are very critical into finding out which guys you're going to want to target and which guys you're going to want to drop from your board. So it's really important, and you've got to make really good decisions at the beginning of the season on who to go after and who's not worth it. This is why I say it's very important. I just scouted a 72 overall athlete, and as soon as I scouted him, he went down to 65 overall. He's already a bust. You already want to drop this guy from your board. That's why I say it's super important at the preseason that you go through and scout as many guys as possible. All right, guys, so I just went through and scouted as many players as I could. I was able to scout 20 players in the preseason week. That means I have 15 more players to scout in the week 1 of my Dynasty. But look at this. Out of the 20 players I already scouted, we already found 2 gems, and that is just in the preseason. We found 2 gems among the list of 35 athletes that we targeted. We have a 77 overall athlete with 94 speed. 94 speed. And we've got a 72 overall athlete with 94 speed as well. That is huge. So if you're able to do this throughout the season, you'll definitely find plenty of gems to recruit. And those are the guys you're going to want to focus on when you're recruiting gems and athletes in NCAA Football 14. So with your coach's skill tree set up the way I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, every single week you're going to have 6,500 recruitment points to assign to the players that you want to go after, as well as that 200 extra that you get from that skills tree bonus. So just to give you guys an idea of how effective this strategy is, I went through 1 week of recruiting. I didn't even use all of my recruiting points. We're only in week 1 here. I only used 2,800 in recruitment points, and I found 8 gems. We did have a couple from the preseason, but we have a total of 8 gems and athletes after only a preseason and only using 2,800 recruitment points in week 1. That is huge. And I only went through the athletes. You can do this for every single position to find more gems if you want to. But this is just to show you guys how good this is. So we've got a 77 overall athlete. I'll just even show you guys. They're all gems. A 77 overall, 77 overall, 77 overall, 72 overall, 76 overall. We even have an 80 overall, 74 overall, and 74 overall. Just within the preseason and a week of recruitment. That is crazy. So if you can do this for the entire season, your draft board will be filled with gem players, guys. It is insane how good this strategy is. I really hope that this tip helped you guys out. I hope you guys enjoyed my take and my recruiting strategy that I showed you guys here today for recruiting the best gems and athletes in NCAA Football 14. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon to get all the future notifications. And let me know in the comment section below if you implemented this strategy for yourself. And let me know what the highest overall gem you were able to find on the draft board. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I love you guys. See you in my next video. Till next time, I'm out.